Hi Bob, this is Amanda with Digital Velocity and SEO. We spoke on the phone a few days ago about getting some websites for your couple of businesses and maybe some SEO and stuff. And here's the screencast video that I was telling you about. Before I talk about a website, I kind of wanted to take you through, I'll take you through like the general layout of a website or of a web page. So I'm sure you're probably familiar with this, but I just go through this anyways, just so that we're on the same page. But when you search for a service, there's several different places here that you can get into on a web page. So usually up top there's going to be what's called Google Guaranteed. It's one of Google's ad programs, and you'll see like a little Google screen thing here. I'm not sure why there's not any for Fence and Deck and Olympia, but that's going to be at the very, very top of the web page. And then you'll see things like the sponsored listings. So these are going to be pay-per-click. This is another one of Google's ad programs. And then you'll see the 3 or 4 listings next to this little map pack, and that's called the map pack. And it takes a separate set of things to get into this section here than it does to get into the organic listings, which is what's down below here. To get into the organic listings, this is where your website comes into play. And then to get into the map pack, you don't even have to have a website. You just need to have an optimized Google business listing, which I looked up your listing here, and it's bringing up 2 on-the-level constructions in this area. I'm assuming that this lower one is yours because it doesn't have a website connected to it. But just so you know, there is another on-the-level construction. But basically, we go in here and completely optimize this listing, make sure that you have the correct categories, and you have descriptions for all of the services that you provide, that you have, they give you a 750 word area down here to be able to describe your business. So making sure that is completely utilized with a keyword or 2 thrown in there. Just making sure that this whole listing is completely optimized. And I see that you've only got 3 reviews if this is your listing. Reviews are really super important. So, we've helped clients out before by doing like flyers for them, so that after they complete a service, they can hand the flyer out to the customer, and it's got a QR code that leads directly to their Google business, making it as easy as possible for the customer to leave you a review. Contacting, old customers that you have worked for, or even friends and family, just get these reviews beefed up because they're a major ranking factor. So having the optimized listing is half of the ranking factor for the Google Map Pack. The other half is what's called citations. So that's going to be your name, address, and phone number as it appears here on Google in different search directories across the web. So places like Yext, Yellow Pages, BBB, anywhere there's a business directory listing. And what we do when we work with a new client is we do 200 of those citations so that you far surpass your competition, and so that it takes them a while to catch back up to you. So having those 2 things is what's going to get you, into the map pack. That, and also, continuing to keep this active during the month. So adding new questions and answers, adding new updates, just making sure that Google sees that you're active and that your business is legitimate and that it is functioning. They don't want to send people to businesses that are closed or that are not accepting new customers or anything like that. So making sure that this stays active after it's optimized is really important for ranking. So that's where this part comes into play. Then the organic listings down below here, that's where your website comes into play. So since you don't have a website, I just pulled up some of your top competitors, and these are competitors in the Olympia and Tacoma area. So you can see they're showing up in some chat GPT searches, some AI searches. The DR score here is basically the power that you have driven to your website, and the trust that Google has in you, that you are who you say you are and you do what you say you do. You get power driven to your website through what's called backlinks, and backlinks are part of an active SEO campaign, like a monthly SEO thing. And they're basically a link that's on another website that leads back to your site. So if there was a blog post about Fence and Deck in Olympia, and the author provided a link that led back to your website. If it's what's called a do follow link, then that means that that website is telling Google that it's okay for them to share their power with you. So that's how you'll move up in the rankings for the keywords that you have. Keywords are anything that someone's going to type into the Google search bar to find you. So like fence and deck Olympia, fencing contractor Olympia, Olympia deck contractor. Those are kind of examples of keywords, location specific keywords that somebody would type into Google to find your business. And they're very important. You put them in the content on your website. And so when you put them in the content, Google scans your website and they'll pick out those keywords, and you'll initially show up for them when having them in your content, but you're going to be on page 4, 5, 6, depending on how much competition there is also trying to rank for these keywords. So to move yourself up into ranking position for those keywords, you need to have the monthly SEO with backlinks to help you drive those words up into the ranking positions. The referring domains are just the websites that host these backlinks. And then, so they have 878 keywords, and they're bringing in 5,200 traffic per month from that. They're not running any paid search. So looking at their keywords, what we're looking for is like location specific keywords. So things that are in the area that you're targeting that are bringing in, traffic for them, so that they're, more likely to convert for you. So I think this company is kind of all over the Pacific Northwest. So we might not see anything for Olympia here, but looking at the next person, this is a little bit more localized. So they're only showing up for 2 keywords, hydro seeding and Lacey, because they're a landscaper as well. Let's see here. Here's another one. See if they're coming up for anything location specific. So, well, we'll just use this one as an example. So, fence contractor Milton. So there's 70 people that are searching for fence contractor Milton per month. They're getting 2 of those traffic, and that's because they're in the 11th position for it. So, if they were ranking higher for this, they'd be getting more of that 70 people. But yeah, so what we would do is go in and do all the keyword research and find the keywords that are in the locations that you want to, bring in customers from, and we would target those keywords for you, so that, like I said, they're more likely to convert for you since they're in the area that you serve. So, we go out and we take all of your top competitors and we do all the keyword research and find the keywords that they're ranking for and get you ranking for those, as well as find the ones that they're missing and get you ranking for those as well. So we kind of take theirs and do it better. Looking at one of your last competitors, this is in Tacoma. They're ranking for 26 keywords and bringing in 61 traffic from that. So you can see here they're ranking for some location specific keywords. So like deck builders Tacoma, that's a word we would want to get you ranking for. There's 350 people searching for that per month. They're getting 16 of that traffic, and they're in the 8th position. So you can see vinyl fencing Tacoma, Washington, Tacoma fence builder, fence contractors Tacoma. These are all keywords that we would want to get you showing up for as well. So, and you can see they're bringing in a little bit of traffic from these, but they're not in the ranking positions really. They are, however, in ranking. They're in first position for Cascade fence and deck, and that's 1,000 people searching for that, but they're only getting 5 traffic. So this tells me that there's not a lot of people in this area searching for Cascade fence and deck, which is what their name is. There must be other Cascade fence and decks that more people are searching in. But yeah, so that's kind of the gist of it for, fence and deck. I'll bring up the other listing now that I have for your concrete company, which I couldn't really find. You said CPR, concrete patch and repair. I couldn't find that company listed on Google, so we definitely would need to get you a Google listing for this business. I pulled up commercial concrete repair Olympia, and these are your top competitors for that. This one here has got 913 keywords, and he's bringing in 5,000 traffic. But I think this one is also Pacific Northwest, so this is going to be a little bit more than. Oh, it looks like he's even in San Antonio. This might be why can't I think of the word? where different people purchase, the company's name, and I'm not sure exactly what it's called right this second because I'm having a brain fart, but yeah, anyways, that might be what this is. That's why they're getting so much traffic. But these other ones here are more localized. So this one's only got 3 keywords, and they're bringing in 10 traffic from it. So it looks like they've got concrete contractors, Olympia, Washington. There's 90 people searching for it per month. They're getting 7 traffic, and they're in the 5th position. What this tells me, though, is that there is people searching for concrete in Olympia, so that's good. There is traffic that, we can funnel from these other people, and they're only targeting 3 words, so, I mean, there's a lot more keywords out there than this, so that means there's a lot more traffic out there than this. Like, this person is bringing in 34 traffic from one single keyword. Concrete contractors, Olympia, Washington, they're ranking in the 1st position, so they're bringing in 34 traffic of this 90 traffic here. So that's just one keyword bringing in 34 traffic. So there's a lot more that we could target that could bring you in traffic for sure. It looks like these people are bringing in 253 traffic from 30 keywords, and it looks like they're in the Seattle area too, but they've got Tacoma here, so asphalt paving Tacoma, 20 people searching for that. They're in the 2nd position and bringing in 7 traffic. But there's tons of keywords out there to target and to bring in traffic. That's never a problem, especially with, niches like you have. So that's just kind of, a little bit of an overview about, what your competition kind of looks like. And, it's not a whole lot. I mean, these people, like I said, are, national, so that's why they've got, so much. But your local competition is really not doing a ton. So as far as SEO goes, it wouldn't be too difficult to overtake them. Now, that's not saying that it's not going to take time. It just wouldn't be too difficult. So, but that's kind of, a quick overview of your local competition and what we would need to do to get you ranking. If you are interested in moving forward, you can reach back out to me through the email that I send you, and we can schedule like a 20 to 30 minute phone call where I can just gather some more information from you to be able to build you a proposal. So I hope that you found this helpful, and sorry it took me a little longer to get this to you than I thought. Things have been a little bit busy lately, so yeah, I hope you have a great evening. Bye.